Here's the video for the new Kiwi Ears Quartet. It is a 2-dynamic face-to-face isobaric configuration like the B3. That's another popular config for 2023. It's also got 2 dip switches with 2 BAs. It's absolutely stunning. If you'd like to win this set, comment below this video. It's absolutely beautiful. I think it sounds fantastic. Comment, like, and subscribe below this video, and I will pull from this. The person that won the SA6 Mark II unboxed version without the box, you've mailed me several times in a row. You're all set, bro. Don't worry about it. I know you're the legit winner. You got a mail sent to you. Please provide the details requested and it'll be sent out to you, so you're good to go. And if you'd like to get this one, comment, like, and subscribe. This is go ahead and put up the border. This is similar to the DUNU SA6 Mark II, and I'll show you the obvious reasons pretty soon. It's the tuning. And also you could say the SA6U, because that's very similar to the Mark II. And the SA6 to the extent, but not with the bass, and also better extension on this. So if you're familiar with the SA6 or the Ultra or the Mark II, this is a set that is comparable to that set. And it's $109, so that's a good thing. The bass, mids, treble, and res on my first blush they're all 7s out of 10. None of them are holy wow, but they're all, for the price of $100, they're all very nice. I think the bass slams when it needs to. I think the mids are nice and clean. There's 2 different profiles for the upper mids with the dip switches. I think the treble is good. It's got extension. I think the resolution is very nice as well. I could update this later, but at this first, I don't want to, overhyping stuff hurts stuff. So I don't want to throw up 8s and 9s, and 7's a safe thing for right now. Now, this is great with stuff like Metallica, rock and roll, grunge like Alice in Chains, Bob Marley, Tupac to some extent it's good with. It does good with busy passages with 1 or 2 electric guitars with distortion pedals. It does handle that well. There's not too much bass that kind of veils that over. It's not lacking extension that might mute some of the upper harmonics of some of the electric guitars or other things in the mix. It does okay with stuff like Big Boy Kill Jill, where you've got significant triple drops down around 38 hertz, 45, 55 hertz. There's other sets that'll hit a lot harder. This isn't where that shines, but it does do it quite well. There's nothing so far that I find to be not great. It does Vivaldi well. It does everything in my library quite well, and I'm a big fan of it. Whoever designs the aesthetics, the outside, the shell of Kiwi Ears, I got to give a shout out to. I thought that the Orchestra Light blue and the green, the blue particularly, looked stunning, and I think that this purple of the Quartet is just wow. Wow, that is beautiful. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at the graph. I've got the Kiwi Ears bass and treble. That's what I'll call it for now. You can see that in just the simple switches that I've done. When you've got 2 switches, you could go up, up, down, down, left, up, right, down, left, down, right, up. So you've got several options, but a lot of times there's only maybe 2 effective settings. This is the one that I can see clearly, but I might update the description later if someone says you should have done this. So obviously one of the switches is really putting up the upper mids, which has a lot of impact on vocals, and the seeming presence and the positioning of vocalists in the mix when you're listening to them compared to the other tuning. Now I want to bring up why the SA6 is in this discussion, and I'll go ahead and pull down what I'm calling the treble. There's a phenomenon when you listen to sets that have atypical upper mids. Atypical for prior to, it's becoming more common now. A set like the SA6 Mark II has a very subdued ear gain region, and that lends to a more welcoming, kind of smooth listen. It wasn't a set that I wrecked because it lacked a little bit in the low end because of BA's part 1, and also just the amplitude of the low end, even in bass mode, just a little bit less than what I would like. That coupled with the reduced ear gain made it a set that doesn't really do my library, and people who know my Rex know that that's probably how that would turn out, and it did in fact. This in its 1 tuning is very similar to that, except it's got the isobaric 2DDs, which is very similar in the amplitude of the sub bass, but the mid bass is clearly sticking out, which gives a lot more slam to things. So I said that this isn't ideal for Big Boy Kill Jill. It's because it really isn't, even though it does have that, because I do need the sub bass for some of that lower stuff. So this would be great for everything in my library, sans some of that stuff that's got the really heavy low punches. But this is why it's being compared with the SA6 Mark II and really the Ultra, because it's that set pretty much with 2 DDs in the low end, giving more slam to it. And then with the switch on, let me go ahead and take out the DUNU. You're pushing up the upper mids, and the sense and positioning virtually of the vocalist will be more present and clear to you, because the second, third, fourth, fifth order harmonics are much more engaging and present. That you like that or not, even in its treble mode, it's not that trebly, but it is something that maybe is preferred by some listeners who don't like the subdued type of upper ear gain. And I'm a take it or leave it kind of guy. Depends on the configuration actually and how the bass is done. But it's nice to have the option to have either that kind of type of SA6 or more traditional upper mids. This will give you both via a switch, and it's $109. It sounds really good. It does great with a lot of my library. That's the first impressions. If you've got requests on sets that you'd like to compare it to in particular, I can do that in the comment section. The first one that comes to mind because of the tuning, again, except for the bass, is really the SA6, and that's out right now. A lot of people got the Ultra and love it. This is a set that when people get it, ask them to compare it just because of the upper ear gain, which for a long time was atypical. How does it impact libraries like mine, like theirs? And then you can kind of create a fuller picture of whether or not this is something you'd like to buy. For $100 with the switch and the ability to be traditional with the 2DD ISO and a traditional ear gain, or to tamp it down slightly like the SA6U or Mark II, is a really nice option to have at $109, excuse me. So, and wow, they're gorgeous. Again, you look at sets, there's a set called the Pecker from K-Bear. There's some really stuff, and you wonder, how did that get out? Whether you look at the shell cap and you think, my God, what are they doing? Or the name and you think, wow, what are they doing? These all sound nice. It's an orchestra. It's an orchestra light. It's a quartet. These are all like musical terms. They look stunning, though. It lends to the idea that people are paying attention to the details, and if they are, they're probably paying attention to the overall, the tuning, just everything, the quality, the QA, the QC. I'll let it go there. Beautiful set. Beautiful, beautiful. And I'm out.